If you look at the storyline, there's a story build up, and there's a closure. There's a reaction where that cement truck is coming and the dad looks there and then he gives this approval nod.
This is a free-to-air channel kind of market. This is not targeting metros in the top 50 cities.
From an insight, brilliant insight. From a creative, 4 on 10 something.
The previous ad that we saw, there was a very solid emotional insight.
Yeah.
Good advertising from a brand's perspective, right? It's supposed to give me disproportionate consideration. The least we should do on creative execution is not follow category structure.
Next time, if you guys want us to review an ad which you may have done and you want us to sort of debate on that, put it on the comments and we'd love to do that. Hello ladies and gentlemen, you'll see that we have a laptop today. The reason we have a laptop is not because we're working, but because in our new episode of This Living Room, we are going to be reviewing an ad that we haven't seen before. We've done this before. I don't remember which episode, but what ad was that? That was on Men's Duo.
We did Fog and we did Bella Vita.
Fog and Bella Vita. Okay, so the way we do this is that we pick a category and we pick a brand within the category, and then we search on YouTube and see if there's any ad within that. So, pick.
Before that, Happy Labour's Day.
Oh, Happy Labour's Day. Are you a labourer?
Yes, bonded.
Oh, okay. I don't consider myself a labourer.
No, I do. Yeah, so I have to pick the category. No, I'm processing boring categories in my head.
Yeah, let's pick a boring category.
Yeah, I don't want a fun category, and then let's just try to get to a place where we make a boring category fun, right? But
soil. No,
not soil. Let's go with cement.
Cement.
Yeah.
B2B. Some B2C.
Yeah, but eventually they advertise to consumers.
What brand? What cement brands are there? I know Ambuja. I know
Ultratech, JK Cement.
Okay. So
ACC.
Tell me one brand.
Let's do Ultratech.
3.5 minute ad, yeah?
How long back was
2
this?
months ago.
Let's watch this. Oh, I love long format advertising.
पिंटू कैसा है मेरे यार?
मान गए दोस्त, गांव छोड़े पर अपनी जिम्मेदारियों को नहीं छोड़े।
पापा तो आज तक नाराज हैं कि चलें। अच्छा चल।
पिछले बरस जो मांगी थी वो मन्नत पाली है, अपने घर की अपने हाथों नींव डाली है। पिछले बरस जो मांगी थी वो मन्नत पाली है, अपने घर की अपने हाथों नींव डाली है। लौट के मैं जहाँ जाऊंगा अपने इरादों सा मजबूत गांव में एक घर बनाऊंगा, एक घर बनाऊंगा। बड़े बुजुर्गों के आशीर्वाद से पहचान बनाऊंगा, एक घर बनाऊंगा। घर बनता है जिंदगी में सिर्फ एक बार, बनाऊंगा इसे सिर्फ देश के नंबर 1 सीमेंट अल्ट्राटेक से। देखे शहर और दुनिया देखी, गर्मी में है पीठ सेकी। सर्दी झेली झेला पतझड़, हाँ फिर भी जिद की डोर न फेंकी। काबिल हूँ अब हर हालत में ठान के ये कर दिखाऊंगा।
One second, I can't read Hindi. What was that text message? What did it say?
The contractor came home.
The contractor came home.
Yeah, he's asking for money.
अपने इरादों सा मजबूत गांव में एक घर बनाऊंगा, एक घर बनाऊंगा। बड़े बुजुर्गों के आशीर्वाद से पहचान बनाऊंगा, एक घर बनाऊंगा अपने गांव की माटी में अपनों के लिए, एक घर बनाऊंगा, एक घर बनाऊंगा। माता पिता का सर दुनिया में गर्व से ऊंचा उठाऊंगा, एक घर बनाऊंगा, एक बार बनाऊंगा, संसार बसाऊंगा, इस मंजिल की खातिर अब मैं जी जान से सब कुछ लगाऊंगा, एक घर बनाऊंगा, एक घर बनाऊंगा। घर एक मौका एक, इसलिए सीमेंट भी देश का नंबर 1, अल्ट्राटेक।
Oh man.
क्या?
Oh man, there's so much. There's so much with this ad. Tell me, you start.
So I didn't. So normally in a film, like if you look at the storyline and the graph, there's a story build up, and there's a closure, right? That's
Yeah.
usually the graph.
Yeah.
Was it me, or did in the middle of the film there was like it seemed like the film ended where the voiceover says that you build a home only once in your life.
Yeah.
I thought the film ended there, and then it began once again when he again left home.
Yeah.
So it's a story about a guy coming back here. Obviously, he's left his house. To work in another city. He's come back. He's building a house next to his parental house. His dad is pissed off because his prodigal son returns. Kind of scenario where
No, we don't know why the dad is pissed off, but there is a piss off.
the dad is pissed off because his brother.
No, that's a friend.
Friend,
Number
acha,
one
okay.
friend. Not the. He said dost. Right? So
Ah.
I was paying attention. It's not brother. It's dost.
So dad is probably pissed off because this guy left home, right?
Yeah, we don't know, but let's assume that to be the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he left the village and went to the city, and
Correct. Now he's come back to the village to build a house, to build a
Yeah.
home. But I thought the dad would be pleased because of that. I don't know why the dad was pissed off.
yeah.
So anyway, then there's a reaction where that cement truck is coming and the dad looks there and then he gives this approval nod.
Yeah, so he's approving of the son via
Making the right
cement,
choices.
via the cement,
Yeah,
but like all fathers, he's not showing his love
yeah,
to the son.
Yeah.
which
and then this guy runs out of money.
yeah, because now half the houses got built and then you need more money.
So then he goes again to another city and works.
Yeah, which is also weird because where did the first pot of money come from? If in the city he didn't have a job in the beginning, why did he go back and he started looking for another job?
No, I think he had a job. He saved up enough to build half a home.
Yeah, and then he said that, hey, listen, I'm going to quit this job now.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back to my village.
Yeah.
And he seems like an educated guy, right? As in
Yeah.
not daily wage laborer.
Yeah.
So if he came to the village, so probably quit his job and said that, oh, now I want to go.
He probably got fired from his office.
Yeah.
Because you can't randomly go off to your village and build a
Exactly.
house.
So a lot of
So-
inconsistencies there. And
And everywhere he was looking, there was what brand is this?
Ultratech.
Ultratech.
Of course.
There was Ultratech branding everywhere.
of course.
So truck, outdoor, everywhere.
Yes.
What's the moral of this? Not moral. What's the message of this film? If you have to build a house, build it with. But that's not the message.
No. So the core message, and which so so okay, let's not shit on it completely, but let's kind of see the good things first. Okay. I think there's a very powerful insight space in this film, which is building a house is a once in a lifetime activity.
Yeah.
You do it once.
Yeah.
Okay. Across socioeconomic strata, for a large percentage of people, that is still true, relevant, and deeply connecting. Right now, there is a trend with a very small number of people where you are getting this kind of financial advice that and this is again a very SEC A++ kind of phenomena where the home in which you stay in is not a wise financial investment, right? And you've seen like Nikhil Kamath say it on the podcast and a bunch of other people because which is also true because there's zero ROI on it, right? As in, so there is a notional capital appreciation, but you don't make any money on the house that you stay in, but there is
But it's an emotional purchase.
exactly.
Yeah.
So there is an emotion to owning that house, but there is a very small percentage of people who are saying that, hey, I don't give a fuck about the emotion. They'll still have a house which is on rent or whatever, but that's not where they're staying, right? And so real estate as an investment class versus the emotional purchase, but again very small. But for a large percentage of people, the house, this insight is still relevant. Okay, so I think that's
No. That insight doesn't feed itself into the film.
No, hold on. I'm saying just that insight, right? Which is also the line, right? कि
हाँ.
घर एक ही बार बनाते हैं आप, or whatever that line is.
Which came in the middle of the film.
Which came in the middle, which came in the end, right? So that insight space, I think, is bang on, right?
Yeah.
So the brief was a good brief, okay? Because the brief would have had the insight, right? The planner did an awesome job on the planning. After that, things went downhill. If you had to break this down, after that,
Who is seeing this film?
huh?
Who is seeing this film?
This is meant for rural markets, right? Tier 3 rural markets where there is a large percentage of educated kids who are coming to the city to build.
Listen, it doesn't matter what you and me think.
Yeah.
82 million views.
Yeah, of course. They must be running ad on this, right? As in, it's not all organic. It's a master. They must be running paid media behind it.
Can
It's not-
I get a bat from you, please?
What? What are the comments?
Can I get a bat from you, please? These were cricketers or what?
No. Was there any cricket happening in this? But people ask random shit on the internet. Just read a few more comments. What else?
Some comments in Hindi, I can't read Hindi. Proud moment. Then very touching, and I really cried seeing it, full of feelings.
Okay. So I think other than the other than the inside space, right? As in, like from an execution standpoint, there are so many things which are just wrong with just the way it's constructed. I think it's a very long edit. Okay. It didn't require a 3.5 minute film for sure. Okay. I don't even see any attempt at, so if I had to make a 30-seconder out of it, I don't think I can make like 5 30-seconders out of this master, right? As in, if that was the attempt, why do you make a larger edit? Because either the story is such that it demands it to be 2 minutes long and you can't cut it into shorter stories, or what you do is that you put in 4 or 5 similar
No,
situations.
you can't do a shorty on this.
You can't do a shorty on this.
No,
right?
no, you
like,
can't.
Yeah. So even a 30. So you could probably pull off like a 40-seconder on this.
How?
Yeah, as in cut out a lot of the melodrama around this whole thing and then just.
It'll be 40 seconds. There'll be essentially in 40 seconds.
No, so
you will show
here's the 40.
5 scenes.
Here's the 40. Kid goes out, brings money, comes back to the village, builds the house. Father is proud of the kid. Family is proud. That's it. That's the 40, right? That's it. That is the 40. And then you cut out this whole narrative about father being upset, which is adding emotion, which is attempting to add emotional layers to it. So you cut that out completely and you say, the son went out, son
Yeah.
earned money, came back,
Yeah.
built the family a house, and
Yeah.
both the parents are very proud of it.
Yeah.
That's the shot. Okay, that's the shotty out of this. Now, beyond this, I'm finding it very difficult to kind of think of a second edit because there's no second narrative, right?
No.
As in, there's no other narrative
No.
which you can cut into a shot. So I don't know how this is panned out into a, like if I had to run this on TV, I would need a 30-seconder, right? Other than what I just described, I can't
I don't
find.
think this is TV.
It probably is TV, right? I'm not building a 3.5 minute master and not running it on TV.
Why?
Like for a brand like this, right? As in JK Cement and the markets that we're targeting, as in these markets, it must be running on free-to-air channels and stuff, man. This is a free-to-air channel kind of market, right? As in this is not targeting metros in the top 50 cities. This by definition has to get targeted to people who have their children who live in smaller towns or villages where children have moved.
But what do you 30 seconds mein what will you show?
Like what I just said, son goes out, makes money, comes back, builds a house, family proud. That's the story, right? Executionally, I think there are so many things which are just like acting is bad, like this whole shivering moment and all that.
Yeah.
It's like just very.
No, but I this insight was a very you could have done a lot with that insight.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like just if it's just a story of this one guy just saying no to so many things, like no to the paint. You know, he's not happy with you know how a contractor keeps coming up to you with options saying that, you know, we could use this paint, we could use this, whatever interior is there. And he's just carrying on saying no. It's a story of this guy saying no. And the reason he's saying no is because you only build a house once, so you better fucking get it correct. You want to make it the best house possible. So you'll say no a lot.
No, see,
But you'll say yes to the cement.
yeah. So I think this is like what you are describing will work in a slightly more upmarket, like an expensive.
Why you don't think that people, when a contractor is building a house for you, you don't think people are, when it's their money on the line.
Yeah, yeah. So
you
what are
think
you
people
optimizing
picky?
for, right? Like, let's say if I'm struggling to earn money and I have to shiver and like apply for a job, right? If that is where my financial condition is, and let's say probably I'm earning $30,000 living in a larger city, and let's for the sake of argument say that this kid goes to Indore and is coming from a small town near Indore, and I'm saving $10,000 a month. I will optimize on things which are foundational to the house, which is the brick and the cement versus the paint, right? As in, I'm okay with like not getting the best paint, right? But I would optimize there, right? Because foundationally, that's the most important thing, right? So it's not, and the contractor is not going to come and present you with different paint choices and all of that, right? Because here your budget is tight, so you're going to optimize there, right? So but what you are saying will work brilliantly in a campaign which is meant for, let's say, a Delhi, right, or a Bombay, right?
Correct,
In
correct.
those,
I hear you.
you know
I
what
hear
I'm saying?
you.
As in
Yeah,
those
yeah.
markets, it will do really well.
Yeah. But let's try. Okay, so pick
No,
another.
so hold on. I want to hear from you on the execution, man. As in, like this 3.5.
So this kind of execution really works, right? This is very OTT content kind of space. So what was
Is
that?
it though?
What was that show that some
tell me
gram,
one thing.
Village.
Tell me one thing. Sorry,
Panchayat.
I'm just cutting you here. Okay, tell me one thing. Would this narrative have been better if there was no like background jingle sort of thing going and it was like a conversation? Like there are real.
I think music really helps this film.
Does it?
Yeah, I think honestly, music was the only thing that was working in this film.
Yeah, but like, and I get that, right? That
Music is
panchayat.
emotion.
But that panchayat kind of thing, the dialogue, right? As in the dialogue would have added so much depth and layer to this.
No. So what I meant by the panchayat treatment was the granularity of the way it's shot, the local kind of places, that kind of geography. I meant that the kind of costumes people are wearing. So you project a smaller village in a nondescript place somewhere.
Sure, but see again, and I don't mean to say this with any sort of disrespect, but it's creative people living in metros using very stereotypical images of people living in small towns and villages, right? As in this whole thing with kurta and gamcha and all of that, right? I don't think people walk around like that every day. Like if you,
But it's
you know what I'm saying? As in, it's like chicken tikka masala equal to Indian food in America.
No, I know.
right? As in,
I know what you're saying. But that's so yours. It's a Slumdog Millionaire.
So if you're going for authentic treatment,
Yeah.
if that is the path, right? As in, and you're right? As in the way it's shot and all of that, it's trying to be authentic. If you're going down that path, then you might as well do it, right? Why do content pieces like Gangs of Wasseypur or Mirzapur, etc. work, right? Because there is depth in the depiction, right? The pan ki dukan and the gutka eating and spitting of the gutka is something which is real, right? It's not made by somebody living in South Bombay. Well, probably Anurag Kashyap does live in South Bombay. I don't know, but it has that kind of depth, right? As in you don't look at it and say that, hey, this is fake. This by default, as in my instinctive reaction is that, and I've had the opportunity to travel to some parts of rural UP, and I belong to a small
which
town.
part of it looked fake to you?
Everything, man. It was very, the entire imagery is it's a very urban articulation of how rural is. You know what I'm saying? As in,
See, look at what he's wearing. He's wearing jeans. Both of these guys are wearing jeans. He's wearing a shirt. He just has a gamcha around himself to wipe his sweat.
this part is okay, right? But the family, right? As in the mother and the father, and it's a very.
So look at the costumes here. They're all wearing. All the men are wearing shirts.
No,
all
but
the men are wearing trousers.
I'm talking about the core characters, right? As in the supporting cast is still okay, but the core characters, mom and dad are very kurta pajama, gamcha. The treatment overall, kind of, it just doesn't.
Yeah. So you need to take certain. So purely from a creative lens, there are certain liberties you take. Okay.
Yeah.
You can't dress the father up in a shirt and jeans purely because, or even father's probably not going to be wearing jeans for a day. He's probably going to wear a pair of pants or
Yeah.
whatever. But you want to make him stand out and elevate him.
Possibly,
So
yeah, you're right.
You'll do those.
And then you
things.
compromise a little bit of authenticity
Yeah,
just
yeah.
to establish the character very well.
In costume, you'll do that.
Yeah, but the story also, right? As in, it's a very jumpy kind of story. As in,
Yeah.
The narrative arc is super weird,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And
What is another cement brand?
let's look at Ambuja Cement. No, so we didn't close this. As in, what is your final thought on this?
Like my rating from a insight, brilliant insight.
Yeah.
From a creative, like 4 on 10 or something.
I find this very disappointing when there is such a powerful insight which doesn't.
I feel that this is not a insight for a campaign. I think this is a brand.
Category insight.
No, brand interesting.
Yeah, but see, also, right, this insight is also, all insights are true for category as well. As in, if the insight works for you, it works for everybody else, right? As in, that's the beauty of a really good insight.
Oh, 30-second ad.
No, find the master. Okay, let's watch 30 seconds. Let's see.
Yeah. There's no master.
Okay.
सर छाता बंद मत कीजिए सर, ऐसे ही आइए ना सर. मीट माय फैमिली. हेलो मेघा, सर के लिए खाने में क्या बना है?
घी के कुलचे.
कोर्स.
बारिश घर के बाहर ही अच्छी लगती है, इसीलिए घर बनवाते वक्त लगवाएं अंबुजा कवच, मजबूती जो पानी को भी रोके.
Nice. Waterproof cement.
Yeah.
Rain looks nice outside the house. Not rain belongs outside the house, not inside the house.
Yeah.
Short, snappy.
How would you have done this differently? As in, it's a functional ad. As in, you're talking about a functional benefit of cement, which is this particular brand cement, which is rain-proofed, right? Or extended protection with rain. So this is not like the other campaign was.
I wouldn't do a film. I would do an art installation on this.
You would do an art installation.
Yeah.
Explain this.
So I would do like imagine a 20 feet like length enclosed chamber. Okay, so cement. The entire thing is cement, and there's water inside. Right, and you can see. Through projection, you can see what's happening inside. So basically, if there's water inside, and if the cement is not waterproof, water will leak out. So you prove that the water is not going to leak out.
Or, bro, very good idea. Or what you can do is actually, so like take this cement, like this slab of cement, right? And 20 feet, there's water falling from the top, okay? And you run 2 separate chambers, okay? So what will happen is, if the cement works, water will fall from the sides, right? And just underneath that slab will be completely dry, and on the sides will be water.
I don't understand.
Okay, so imagine this glass, right? Imagine this is all made of cement.
Yeah.
There's water falling from the top.
Yeah.
Okay. If it doesn't allow for water to seep through.
So this is covered, right? So the water will fall down, cascade down the side.
Precisely. But if the cement lets water through, there'll be water here as well.
Yeah.
So if you have like, let's say, a camera here,
Oh, got it. So there's no water. So
right under the
but
slab.
then how is this column there? How is it? If it doesn't have a base, how is it standing?
No, it like support it like this, right? Suppose this column is standing like this on some sort of stand, right? And there's water falling from the top.
Yeah.
And so suppose you isolate the chambers, right? Put a glass chamber around this. You'll find water falling on the sides, and here there'll be like this pool of water, but right under is completely dry. Right? And then you can kind of have this fancy zoomed in kind of shot.
No,
and
that's nice. Yeah, but works like this film is also a very nice film.
tell me what works.
I think it's snappy. It's quick. Not to say that all snappy ads are good. It has a great hook. I mean, the in the first 3 seconds, this boss comes. He's trying to fold his umbrella, and this guy says that, "Sir, please keep your umbrella on." So the audience is like, why? And then this
Is it though?
what?
Like and I know that we
We
know.
just we know it's cement.
Yeah. Which is what I'm
Yeah.
I'm qualifying that. Like we know we are watching an Ambuja cement
Yeah.
ad, but has this execution not happened enough with water falling into the house? And you remember there was this ad of this guy who's signing.
All
on the-
executions have happened.
No,
All
no.
ideas have happened.
No, Baba, you remember this? There was this, I think, cement ad only, where this old man is dying and this guy makes
Yeah,
a
yeah,
sign
yeah,
and
yeah,
there's this
yeah,
which
yeah, yeah.
droplet of water and the ink
yeah,
goes
yeah.
away and
Yeah,
all that, right?
yeah. That was Piyush Pandey.
Yeah. So again,
Piyush Pandey or Ashish Kare?
I don't know,
Not
but
Ashish. Sorry, Are-
but the novelty of this idea where you enter the house and there's water inside it doesn't in at least in my head, right? And probably
But there are so many ways of showing this, right? I mean, pots and pans to collect the water. The execution of water inside the house has been done a million
no,
times.
the idea. I'm saying the
The
idea.
idea of water inside the house has
Ah.
been done a million times. How are you combating that? That's where the creative
Yeah.
comes in, right?
Yeah. No, I want to. I would probably. I don't want to. So suppose I put the pressure on the brief, saying that do not go down this path.
But your house is cement. How
Yeah.
else do you show waterproofing?
That's the question, right? As in that's the. So if like this situation of, irrespective of situation, members within the house are facing water coming from the roof.
Yeah.
Right. Either executed through the will or pots and pans. Or
Yeah.
this. If I don't let you do this, if I ban you from saying that in the creative.
No, but you can't. You'll have to show something.
So tell me what, na? I'm saying if this
No,
is
no, no.
not
I'm
allowed,
saying
I'm
that
saying put pressure on the brief.
See, the proof of concept of the cement
Ah.
is that water does not come in,
Yes.
right? So in advertising, there are only two ways of showing this. Either what happens if water comes in, what happens if water doesn't come in. So far, this category has been built on, let's show what happens when water comes in. The ad that you're talking about, this ad, multiple other ads, is all about water coming in. That's easier to show than what if water does not come in. Because then it's not, so the house is the house, nothing changing. Nothing changes in that scene. You understand what I'm saying?
And probably that just breaks clutter.
No, so the other way to do this is that, let's assume that I don't know that you have
Ambuja.
I've come to your house. Let's say we're whatever, brothers, friends, and we haven't met in a very, very
Yeah,
long time.
yeah.
I've come to your house. I'm assuming that you have some fuck all cement. Okay. I come
Prepared.
I come with an umbrella. I come sitting with an umbrella hat or whatever, and you're wondering what the fuck is going on. Why is this guy wearing an
And
umbrella?
everybody else is just chill.
Yeah, everyone else is chill.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. The moment, see, this is the whole piece, right? As in, like, it took you 2 seconds to think of a different creative vehicle, right?
But there are only two ways.
But yeah, but
Yeah, but
whatever.
I'm sure I'm not the first person who's thought of what if.
No, bro, don't remember seeing any execution which is not this. And probably I'm wrong, right? As in, I don't remember. I don't remember any execution which doesn't have water seeping through the wall or the ceiling.
No, even I haven't seen. I don't think even I've
Exactly.
seen.
So I'm saying if you put this.
But what will be remembered more? Ask yourself this. Visually, what will you remember more? Will you remember water falling inside the house, or will you remember no water falling inside the house?
First time the brand does it, the first brand which does it, I'll probably remember what.
But every brand is doing it differently.
Yeah, but it's the same message, right? And so okay, so now let's say, and I'll come to the second thing I have, second problem I have with this, right? Let's say that I put this in testing, right? And
You're obsessed with testing, yeah?
of course, man, like creative testing has to happen, and that's just the basis. And I make 20 people see this ad, right? I can give it to you in writing. There'll be so much brand misattribution.
Yeah, for sure.
They will attribute it to category, and they will
Yeah.
attribute it to category
Yeah.
to the brand which is most salient in their heads.
Yeah.
Which is the core problem, right? If the advertising is not differentiated in format, where water coming from ceiling, everybody is doing it.
But even the other one that I just spoke about, they'll misattribute that as well.
Probably not, because
Why?
at least it doesn't fit into their existing
No,
memory.
they'll make the connect of, oh, this is a cement company.
Yeah.
This ad, this funny ad, we saw one person wearing a umbrella hat sitting at home. Nobody else was wearing an umbrella. Which brand was that? अच्छा ये JK cement था या कुछ और cement था? They won't remember.
Probably, but I'm
It's the
saying,
same thing. It's cement. It's waterproofing cement.
yeah. So I am suspecting that the misattribution, if the creative,
Should I smoke? What if people hate on this?
Yeah, just smoke, man. My suspicion is that the misattribution will be lesser if the format of the advertising is different, right? Which is why you want to create differentiated advertising, right? That is the one problem. The second thing I have is that from a brand standpoint, right? And again, cement is a very commoditized category anyway. And waterproofing, I'm sure, is something which other people have also spoken about. I don't think this is like the proposition is fundamentally differentiated. You know what I'm saying? As in, what is there another angle to this? Either functional
From a product perspective.
from a brand product perspective, right? Can you elevate this functionally or emotionally, in some way or the other, which differentiates this? As in, and again, coming back to misattribution. So then the problem becomes that I have to spend more money on media. So highest share of voice, right, will lead to highest memorability, right?
Yeah.
Now, a good creative gives you highest memorability with not necessarily the highest share of voice, right? Like for example, like again, I go back to the classic ads, right? The Perfetti Happy Dent ad, right? Irrespective of how much money they spend on media, if you ask people of marquee ads within chewing gum categories, this is the ad which people will come back to, right? So like the differentiation in advertising, which is the format break, and on the other side, on the product, like on the brand or product, whatever you want to call it, right? As in Ambuja Cement is a brand and the product is cement. Functionally, maybe you're not able to differentiate the product, right? But is there
A laddering.
Yeah, is there a laddering emotionally, which gives you the ability to communicate differently? Is there an insight?
How would you do that? How would you
Like
ladder
for
this up?
example, like the previous ad that we saw, right? There was a very solid emotional insight,
Yeah.
which is the first you build only
Yeah.
one house,
Yeah.
right? Now
That's an emotional laddering.
that is emotional laddering, right? But here,
It's functional. It stays at functional.
yes. So with waterproofing, can I add something? Can I add another dimension on top of it, where the payoff is the waterproofing, but the inside space and the benefit is something which is emotional, right? So, see, what I'm trying to do is, like, if I have to look at good advertising, right? What does good advertising do? Good advertising from a brand's perspective, right? And I'm not talking just the creativity of the good ad.
Yeah.
Is essentially the job of that advertising is supposed to give me disproportionate consideration, right? If I have to spend 100 rupees on media and get 100 points on consideration, then it's an average ad. If I spend 100 rupees, get 80 points on consideration, it's a bad ad. And if it's 60, it's a shit ad. But if I spend 100 rupees on media and I get 150, right? That's when the ad is delivered. And just consideration, right? As in association with brand, association with benefit, slightly lesser misattribution than normal on brand. That's what makes good advertising. Right? While the execution is on point, right? As in, again, I'm saying that creatively, if I was trying to show a situation where there was water droplets in home, everything is done well. I think the film is shot well, the acting is good, everything is good, right? But can you push it harder? As in, like the moment I told you, don't do this, right? And I think this pushback should come from brands. Like, it's the job of the brand manager, right, to go back to the agency and say that, hey, listen, let's say we are in a commoditized category and let's say we don't have any differentiation. The least we should do on creative execution is not follow category structure, right? That's the least that you should be able to deliver on creative. It might be a hit or miss in certain categories.
Yeah, but most brands, in my experience, want to play safe.
I know, which is again, right? As in, I think that's the job. It doesn't happen.
What you're saying takes a lot of guts, man.
Yeah, but somebody approved this as well, right? As in some brand manager, some category head, some head of marketing approved this.
Yeah.
And from a business standpoint, absolutely safe decision, right?
So the question is, why would you want to experiment with something that you know may or may not
No, but you
work?
can test this again, which is the whole power of like testing on creative, right? Suppose you do an animatic and today you don't even need to do an animatic, right? Today you can actually get a sort of spend a couple of lakhs and get this shot in a low cost setting, as in not the final film, but like a scratch, and put it with the put it in front of the consumers, right? Test it out and see where you land. Right? And do both. Like test out the classical concept. Like take this concept and test this out. Take a very differentiated concept and test it out, and then ask the same questions. Is it solving for misattribution? Is it solving for any sort of differentiation? Is the consideration on this one better versus the other? Right. So the answer is the experiment is not to be done blindly. The experiment is done when it's tested with consumer. And that's the whole power of consumer research, right? And like if you're going to spend tons of money on media, and probably this production was let's say a 50-60 lakh rupee production at least, if not more.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That is the production on this.
Yeah. Into 10.
Thumb of rule into 10. At least 5 crores went into media.
Yeah.
Right? At least, if not more.
Yeah.
10 lakh rupees in testing. But if the other concept really hits it out of the park, right, there's disproportionate result. So, yeah. But good.
Okay, so, but next time, if you guys want us to review a ad that, hey, which you may have done, and you want us to sort of debate on that,
Yeah.
put it on the comments and we'd love to do that. Yeah. Till next time, thank you very much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe.
Comment.
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 Whatever.
Comment.
Do something.
Do something. Bye.